I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another classic movie review. And today we're going to be talking about The Grapes of Wrath, which stars Henry Fonda, Jane Darwell, and John Carradine, and is directed by John Ford. More well known for his westerns. I've reviewed probably his two most famous westerns on my channel, Stagecoach and The Searchers. Check them out if you haven't already. But this film is not a western. It is a drama set in the Midwest during the Great Depression in America in the late 1920s, early 30s. Now, it follows a family, the Joad family, during the Great Depression, and specifically Henry Fonda's character, Tom Joad, who's just come out of jail for murder on parole after 4 years in prison, comes back to his family farm to find it abandoned and find that his family has moved to his uncle's their uncle's farm because they have been moved off their land because of the Great Depression. And soon after, Tom finds them at their uncle's and are once again moved on and have to try and find work in California in order to survive. And I'd heard good things about this film. It's probably one of John Ford's best films that isn't a western. It's one of his most well-known dramas, alongside How Green Is My Valley, which won him Best Picture. This film was nominated for Best Picture but didn't win. Henry Fonda was also nominated for Best Actor. It got several nominations. Now, I expected to really enjoy this movie. It's a John Ford film. I really adore The Searchers a lot. Stagecoach I really like a lot as well. I gave it a 9.5 on my review. That's a slight spoiler if you haven't seen the review, but I'd probably change it now to a 10. It's a very great film. Has everything you need in a western. However, Grapes of Wrath may be John Ford's greatest film, and that is some serious compliment, because this film is a truly great American classic, and it comes down specifically to a few different elements which I'll go into. Henry Fonda is absolutely fantastic in this movie. This might be one of his best performances, alongside Once Upon a Time in the West, which he is truly brilliant as a villain. But in this film, he's a brilliant, flawed hero who loves his family, is straight and a good person, but he has an aggressive side, and it gets him into trouble quite often. And in the end, it comes back to bite him. And he's a great character. He's moral. Mostly moral, but he does lose his way every so often, and he's brilliantly played by Henry Fonda. He's really, you can feel real sympathy for the character. He's flawed, but after all, he is a good man. He's made mistakes in his life, but he is a good person overall. But the standout performance for me in this film is Jane Darwell as his mother. And she is truly fantastic. She has some of the best scenes in the movie. She has a specific scene with Henry Fonda near the end of the film, which I won't get into because it contains some spoilers, but it's truly fantastic, and the acting by both of them it's a really emotional and powerful scene. And right at the end of the film, a monologue that she says during the end of the film, I was crying. It was truly powerful stuff. Really great acting, especially from Jane Darwell, who actually did win Best Supporting Actress for this film. I also really liked John Carradine, who played a former priest, and preacher, and a friend of Henry Fonda's, who loses his faith due to the Great Depression and the strains that it's put him under. He's a very interesting character as well, and I really quite enjoyed his performance. But overall, the ensemble cast, many actors involved, all of them very good in this movie and very convincing. This film is also quite shocking for its time period, and is probably one of the best depictions of the Great Depression out there. It really shows how people from different states, specifically California, dealt with many of these homeless people who lost their homes, lost their livelihoods due to the Great Depression, how many treated them with respect and love, and many pushed them away and didn't want them around their area. Obviously there was an influx of them because of signs for work, and it caused a lot of problems, and there was slums and awful living conditions, and it was truly quite shocking to watch. And it's interesting to see those two different points of view and differing perspectives throughout the film. Thought it was shown really, really well. Also, the cinematography, which isn't mentioned and I don't think was nominated for an Oscar, but it's really exceptional. Some really good black and white cinematography here, especially some good extreme long shots with Henry Fonda, showing the kind of loneliness of his character, which I won't go into too much. Again, probably go into spoilers, and if you haven't, because I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen this film, because it is quite underseen. It's reasonably famous, but it's not one of the films that most people have seen from Ford. But I'd really recommend it a lot, because I think this is a brilliant film. I really do. I think this is a great American classic. I think the way it talks about humanity and when we're at our lowest, I think is truly brilliant, because really what the film is saying to us is when all of society crumbles and you know everything that we've built is at its lowest, we can choose to be little more than animals, or we can choose to be human however hard it gets, and that we can be happy and we can fight for who we are, and we don't have to just survive, we can still live. And that's a really powerful message, and I think this film portrays it brilliantly. And overall, I think this is one of the great American films. This is one of the best films of the 1940s. I think it's John Ford's masterpiece. It's definitely up there with The Searchers. It might even be a little bit better. Henry Fonda and Jane Darwell specifically are incredible in this movie, and I am of course going to give The Grapes of Wrath 10 out of 10. So there you go, that is my classic movie review of The Grapes of Wrath, and hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, drop your comments down in the section below. What is your favourite John Ford film? Mine probably now is Grapes of Wrath, closely followed by The Searchers. And what is your favourite movie of the 1940s? Mine is incredibly generic. It's Citizen Kane. I also really love Casablanca a lot. Third Man is fantastic. Then probably Grapes of Wrath, and then It's a Wonderful Life are all complete masterpieces to me. The 40s is an amazing decade. And hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.